It's Monday, it's another Monday guide from HOI4 Gaming, and today I've been looking at equipment capture and how to use it to build up your army. I just want to say we just got 4,000 subscribers. Both me, Badger and all the others are amazed and really thankful for all your support. But as you know, we try to stick to the point and I will not drag that thing out for long, so we're gonna go straight into the guide. Equipment capture does exactly what it says. You capture enemy equipment when you're fighting with them. This is really good when you're starting going into war. This means that you can eat up your neighbors' industry and territory as always, but you can also take their equipment and build your own army with that equipment. And the big benefit from taking the equipment straight on is that, of course, you get more equipment, but you also get it instantly. When you take military factories, it will take a while, you will get up the production efficiency and so forth. You take 1,000 or 10,000 infantry equipment, you have a couple of more divisions out in field in no time, and this is really useful. So we find equipment capture ratio here in the division template. So here we have it, 0% for this division, and we need to boost this, of course, to make it better. So the first thing we can do is go in for a general that has an engineer trait and give them the scavenger trait. So this gives you 3% extra equipment capture ratio, really good. You can also give this to a field marshal and then you got half the general trait skills, so 1.5% extra if you would have a field marshal with this. I don't have it in this run, but you could if you want to. The big thing you can do is research maintenance company. First maintenance company gives 5% extra equipment capture ratio. The second one gives 5% extra equipment capture ratio. The third one gives something else. It gives 1 extra percent equipment capture ratio per tank you have in your division. So if we look at the divisions here, we have infantry division. We give it maintenance company and we get 10% in the template. If we design something like this with a lot of tanks, we can gain 1 extra per tank. So if you see here, remove 1 tank, remove 1 equipment capture ratio. So here we have a tank designed primarily to capture equipment. That's why there's a lot of tanks in it. They are cheap tanks because it doesn't matter if it's an extremely expensive tank or an extremely cheap tank. We gain exactly the same equipment capture ratio. So we want cheap tanks that can finish off pockets. And even this armor recon company gives an extra, and yeah, why not put it in there? It's not extremely cheap, but it's not extremely expensive. We only need 1 of this to really have fun. So how I would use it is that I would use these maintenance companies on my spearheads, and I would design 1 tank primarily done like this, a 50 combat width. That's not the primarily combat width you're looking for, but the more combat width, the more equipment capture ratio we can have, the stronger this will be. And we have this tank with 33% capture ratio, which will really bring in that equipment that we want to our industry and our forces. So I would use this to close pockets, and I will show you how I will do it. So yeah, we're gonna go over to another scene. So what I've done here is that I've used the infantry to make an encirclement here. So far we haven't captured anything, I think. 0 captured by us infantry equipment. What I do now is I take my tank with 34% equipment capture ratio and I just clear out the pocket. It will take a little while since it's a single tank doing it, but they have a lot of minuses here, so they don't stand a chance. We're fighting them, they're dying 1 by 1, and we will capture a lot of equipment. Now there's 0 of them. There, we can look again. So we didn't capture anything before, and now we have captured 1,200 of infantry equipment in just this battle, and a little more support equipment, but the big thing here is 1,200 infantry equipment in that battle. So yeah, and what I've done with Poland here is just continue to make small pockets and let this one clear them out to capture the equipment. We're gonna look at the results after taking Poland pocket by pocket like this. But first of all, I just want to say that most of you watching are not yet subscribers. So please subscribe to the channel, give us a like and a comment, and we would be extremely happy. And if you, for some particular reason, want even more guides, since we release one guide every Monday, we have the Patreon archive and we have the Patreon releases every second week. Every second Thursday we release one guide on Patreon exclusive for the Patreon community. So consider being a Patreon. Otherwise, yeah, subscribe to the channel and enjoy the ride, and we will look at the results. So I have killed off Poland's army pocket by pocket. They have a few units left, but yeah, I want to finish them off, and to finish them off I used my tank down here. It's the only one attacking, so I get as much equipment as possible. And if we roll this, they should surrender. Yeah, they surrendered. We gain 1.7 thousand infantry equipment and a lot of other equipment. The really important thing here is that we only get access to 50% their stockpile equipment. So all equipment in field will be lost here. That's why we want to pocket as much as of the enemy army and take as much equipment as possible before we capitulate them. So 1.7 thousand infantry equipment. We have to take Poland here. Exit. Go, and we can start looking at stuff. In the combat log, it says that we have captured 12,500 infantry equipment out of 92,000. That's 13%. That's a far fetch from that 34% that we thought we would gain according to the template here, which has 33% of equipment capture ratio right now. But that's not it. That's 13%. So I looked a little bit further. So looked at foreign equipment here. That's 17,000 infantry equipment somehow. And even if we subtract that 700 from the win where we captured stockpile equipment, now we're up to 15,800 captured infantry equipment from just pocketing Polish units and taking them with that tank, which I used, the capture tank. And going forward in this, I looked at a save game here. We can go back to it. Poland starting equipment. Because Poland didn't have 92,000 infantry equipment when this started. When I checked Poland here, Poland had 39,000 infantry equipment when this started. And they were building, yeah, 36 a day. So even if this dragged on for a year, they didn't build 50,000 extra. So I think there's something wrong with how much they lost. I think it's more plausible that they actually had like 40,000, perhaps going out to 50,000 by building stuff in the war. And we took 16,000 of them. Then we're going up there closer to that 33%. And some, of course, were lost in the battles with my infantry and so forth. So I don't get everything. But I would say that the math works out if we look at it this way. But it doesn't really work out with the combat log, because it shows, I think it's mostly shows too much equipment that are lost and too little equipment that is captured. So that's kind of a huge gain. 16,000 infantry equipment is enough to equip a couple of decent divisions for your next campaign. And Poland is just the start. Then we have France and everything. And even if we now have the tech which are not available to us, imagine going to the Soviet Union later on, or actually postpone the wars in Europe if you want to, just to capture their equipment, just to make this a little bit more fun. Or as you might need to do with smaller countries, you need to wait a little bit longer before you start attacking out, because you need to build up something. You can really use this if you have that research when you start, and taking not just industry, territory, resources, but also a third of the army with you for each country that you take. And I really enjoy doing this guide, since I play a mod when we play multiplayer. It works a little bit different, so I really enjoy trying this out in the main game. And this is really, really powerful. Taking 34% of the enemy's equipment, and doing it like this, pocket them, since you always like to pocket them or want to pocket them, and just clear those pockets with a special tank made for taking the enemy equipment. I think that's really, really powerful. And as you saw, I cheat a little bit, so you can't really do this in 39. You wait a little bit and really, really concentrate the research. You can do this by 41, and as I said, the Soviet Union is a nice price to actually take a huge chunk of equipment, making you able to both defeat the Soviet Union but also defend the Atlantic Wall and so forth. But yeah, with that said, enjoy doing this as always. Nice seeing you guys, and I will see you guys next time.